So today's mission is another one that I come across every now and again. We've done a site visit and got a job for a wedding, and then once we get the booking, something we do is a line search. So that's going to look up the national grid for gas, water and electric, overhead and underground. Something that Daisy does in the office, and we've been amazed by what it picks up. We do it on every job now, far better than scanning. Anyone who's got any experience with a CAT scanner will know how unreliable it is. So we do a line search that brings up any mains services and also some private services as well. If they know about them, it'll be on there. So far we found it very accurate. You can't say that the services can be exactly where it is, but at least it makes you then go and look and find it. So in this particular case, it's a job we're quite excited about. If you live in Somerset, this family is well known and a very well known business, and we're quite keen to do it. I won't say who it is because I haven't asked them for their permission, but if you live in Somerset, you know about this business and this family. So we got the job, done the line search, 30 kVA cable underground going right through the marquee. Nobody knew it was there, and nobody told us it was there. So I'm off today to see if there's any way of moving the marquee so that we can still do the job and go around it. We have options. One would be a clear span marquee with ballast weight so we don't penetrate the ground. However, they really want our nice traditional marquee. They really don't want a clear span, so we've got to try and find a way of doing it. A lot of customers will then say, and I'm not saying this is going to be the case here, but they'll be like, oh, can't you just sort of be really careful, or can't you go over it and not tell anyone? Or we've had a lot of pressure put on us over the years, for especially going under power lines. We do not work under power lines at all, unless the electric board come out and say, yeah, it's clad, you're safe to go. We don't go under them. It's just a no-go. Multiple people have died putting up marquees under power lines. It's not something we're prepared to play with. So I've got the Moser device to do a really accurate scan of the site. I've got the CAT scanner. We've got the best CAT scanner you can get on the market, the C-scope, which will even picks up fibre optic. But will we be able to find this line? My best solution would be, can we just disconnect it for the weekend and avoid any danger that way? We'll obviously have to avoid hitting it as well, but at least if something goes wrong, no one's going to die. The advice you get from HSE is, and I've had another site where this happened, we had HSE, the electric board, out to look at it with us, and I said, what can we do to pinpoint? He scanned it and he said it's roughly in this area. I said, well, can we get a real accurate location on it? He said the only way to do that is dig test pits until you find it, and then you know where it is. Well, the cost implications of that, then you're digging up a lawn which you're supposed to be putting a wedding on, and second of all, who's qualified to dig that hole knowing that there's a power line underneath there? Because I'm not. I know one who works for us is, and I'm not going to ask anyone who works for us to do that. So really, there doesn't seem to be much option other than it has to be isolated, or you've got to work somewhere else. I hope we can achieve that. I'm in a rush to get there because this morning we had a no start on a lorry, one we bought a couple of weeks ago, so we're still in the phases of finding out everything that's wrong with it. It's always annoying when you get a no start in the morning. In this case, it was just battery terminals were rusted up and the clamps had come off, so it's a fairly quick start, but at the same time there was 7 people waiting to go with that little convoy down to Twyford in Winchester, which is a nice little job we do every couple of years for Twyford ladies. We've been doing that for 25 years, I reckon. It's a bit out of our normal operating area, but it's quite a fun job. Access is tight, got all the usual challenges, but it is quite a fun job. We quite like doing it. We did it one year and they had all of the original backdrops from the Oscars from like the 80s or something, because one of the ladies in the village was a designer and she did all of the set design for the Oscars. There's always something random going on down there. It's quite a fun job to do. So got them going. I'm now late for the site visit, which is always nice to turn up late. Hopefully only 5 minutes. I'll call the customer. Generally I find if you call them and let them know, they're fine about it. I'll call and let them know I'm 5 minutes late and try and solve this. I'll let you know how I get on. So that seems like quite a successful solution, really. Basically, we have to move one tree, that one there. I've been able to find the power line pretty accurately, so I'm using the C-scope. It's straight away got it. So that noise and those bars on the screen straight away showing. For some reason it's not giving me a depth, I'm not sure why it is. But I can trace it. There's even a bit of a trench in the ground. I think that's the best signal I've ever had. And it's right next to here, so basically we just got to push the marquee back a bit. I'll probably leave about 3 meters, and then we've got to take one tree out, what the customer has, and that allows us to push it back. Safe, start the marquee over here somewhere. Good solution. So that was really quite successful. I was able to pinpoint the power line really well. It was helpful that they were able to bring out the person who actually laid it. So it's in the owner's garden. It's a hell of a setup. When we did a wedding actually next year, I'll ask them if we can show some footage of where it is. The setup you would never believe is there from what you see from the road. Hell of a setup, really beautiful little apple orchard. They're happy to move one tree, they're confident they can move it and bring it back after the wedding without any damage. So that's next year, I think in next midsummer at some point we'll be doing a nice big wedding there. We're all back on course. That's been a bit of a weight on my mind because I really didn't want to have to decline the job. I wanted to find a way around it, and it was actually fairly simple to do that. The location of it was not where the National Grid had it. They had it going right through the middle of the marquee. It doesn't, it goes down the side. You can still see the trench in the ground where it's laid, and as I showed you, the C-scope has picked it up with real good confidence. I'm confident it's fine. So it was nice that we can go ahead and do the job, and I feel confident, happy and safe about it. I will decline the job if we're not happy, and I have done, and it's always a shame to have to do that, and especially as people don't really take it very well. I think sometimes it amazes me how people are still way behind the times when it comes to health and safety and expect you just to cut corners on something as dangerous as that, and we just won't do it. Generally, I find people like that who run a business understand this and understand that you can't do that. It's not worth it for anyone, and you can't put your employees at a risk like that. So generally I find people like that who are in business actually get it, and they've all had their own run-ins with health and safety, and they know, they respect that we're just trying to keep everyone safe and do our job, and if we can't do it, we can't do it. But there was no need to go to that point because we were able to get around it. Really nice location, really nice people, and we're really excited to do the wedding next summer.